Crime 101, it's new in cinemas. I've finally seen it. Let's chat. Why hi, welcome back to the video, a brand new movie review. Today I'm talking all about Crime 101. It is new in cinemas across the UK. I've got around to seeing it before we start talking about it. As always, a friendly reminder, these are just my thoughts. Don't let this dictate whether or not you decide to go and see it. You might see it, feel totally differently to me. That is okay. Movies aren't made to cater for everyone. Without any further ado, let's start talking about this film. And Crime 101, I'm not going to lie, is a film that I hadn't really heard or seen much about. I think I saw the trailer for this film maybe once, twice at a push, I would say, and it looked all right. It came out, I went to go and see it, obviously, and look, it was all right. I think for me, this film could have been really good, and I think for a lot of people was really good, but for me, I just had I had a couple of just major flaws for this film in general, and I think that's why I didn't enjoy it and appreciate it as much as other people may do. And that is always why I say that certain films, you know, just because I have these thoughts doesn't mean you will. And I think that's so incredibly important why I say that before every movie review, because somebody else will do a movie review on it and say something totally contrasting to me about this film. That's the beauty of movies. But for me, I found this film very flat, very one level. The best word that I can use to describe this film was, to me, it felt very monotonous. It felt very podgy in terms of, it's just here. There's no, do you know what I mean? It was just dun, dun, dun for the entire film. The film itself is like just short of a 2.5 hour runtime. I think that is totally unnecessary. I find long films, as you know, very unnecessary anyway. So maybe I am biased. I don't know, but I just thought this film was very unnecessarily long. I didn't think it had to be. But the biggest flaw for me was the fact that it was so monotonous, so one level. And if you had told me that this film was a sequel or part of a series or a follow-on or something like that, I would totally have believed you, because this film starts, to me, almost in the middle, and we're never fully introduced to these characters. I have no idea who they are. I have no idea why they're doing what they're doing. What do they want out of what they're doing? I have no idea at all why these characters are doing what they're doing, and I have no relationship to them. I have no bond. I have no like connection between kind of the character and audience. And again, for me, that is always a flaw. If I've got no idea and no kind of relationship with this character, I'm gonna have no feelings towards what you're doing. And that to me was the biggest problem. I didn't know who these were. I just couldn't understand why they were doing what they're doing. And obviously I expected them to be doing this sort of thing and interacting in this world of crime, because the film is called Crime 101. Obviously I expected that. But I just didn't know what they were doing. And because of that, I didn't feel anything towards these characters. And all of these characters are living simultaneously, and over the course of the film we get to realise that they are all working or have some association with, intentionally, unintentionally, coincidentally, uncoincidentally, is that word? They're all working on the same kind of crime in some way or another. And it works, don't get me wrong, but I don't understand why. And I think until we get to the end of the film where it's kind of all makes sense and you go, I get it, I think without knowing, it just doesn't have as much of an impact as I think they wanted it to. Does that make sense? And I really feel like this film tried to do too much. It was trying to be this like suspenseful, what's going to happen next? Can you figure out who this is film? Then it tried to have this really big level of romance, which I was like, I don't understand why we've got this random romance story. Again, we get to the end of the film and I'm like, okay, look, it makes sense. But in the moment, I'm like, why have we got this random love story that's kind of going nowhere, that's kind of leaving me feeling absolutely nothing? I don't feel anything. I don't go, oh, that's a sweet romance. I don't feel anything for this like relationship that we're seeing form. Again, didn't understand it, thought that was a bit unnecessary. But then it's also, I think it tried to be this like, bang, gunshot, killed sort of film. And I don't think it works trying to incorporate all three types of things into one film. For me anyway, it didn't really float. And I do think that's, to me, where this problem was. It tried to be too much, and then actually I just don't think any of them worked. So that's kind of my two major flaws. Like I say, it's a 2.5 hour runtime, and I have mentioned it over the course of the video, but everything that I found that was wrong with this film, it all made sense at the end. The last 20 minutes, I was like, I get it. Like, this makes sense. But this film was 2.5 hours. And for the last 2 hours and 10 minutes, I've been like, what? Huh? Why are you doing that? Who are you? Like, what are you even doing? And so by the end of the film, I'm bored. I don't actually care. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, just get the end credits up now, because I really don't care. Obviously I did, and I actually was quite satisfied with the ending. I just think this film for me didn't work. It didn't have the sort of impact that I think they wanted it to. I thought the casting was great for this film. I thought the casting was really good. I just think it didn't work as well as it could do. Don't get me wrong, I feel like I've slated this film, which I kind of have, to be fair. It did have its moments, and I did enjoy aspects of this film, but I think it's worth me being totally honest and transparent in these movie reviews. There's no point me sugarcoating it, but that's what I thought. They're my major flaws with this film. And like I mentioned, everyone has totally different thoughts. I've seen so many good reviews about this film saying how much they loved it, how much it was like really, really good, really like hooked from start to finish. And that's why movies aren't made to cater for everyone. And that's why I start my intros for these movie reviews in the same way every time, because movies don't cater for everyone. And just because I think this doesn't mean somebody else will think that. Do you know what I'm saying? They're my thoughts on Crime 101. It's in cinemas across the UK right now. Before I wrap up this movie review, as always, what do you rate it out of 10? Will it be joining this collection? I'm giving it a 4 out of 10. I'm very, very biased, I think. I have flawed it, I have critiqued it a lot, but listen, it was all right. There were aspects that I enjoyed. So 4 out of 10 from me. Will it join my collection? No, it probably won't. I've seen it. I don't feel the need to watch it again. Like I say, it's not even half marks for me. So no, it won't be joining my DVD collection. But like I say, there you go. Everything I've got to say on Crime 101. Boom, in this movie review. Thank you very much for watching. As always, fingers crossed, I will see you in another video and hopefully another movie review very soon.